Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake It's Me, and today is the Saturday check-in. It is October 5th, 2024, and thanks for hanging with me. If you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe, then head on over to hellocupcakeitsme.com to check out the blog, and then make sure you check out podcast.hellocupcakeitsme.com to check out the podcast that's updated every Thursday. Follow me on all the social media links down below, and make sure that you check out my upcoming book, Carpe Diem Scroto, 365 Daily Affirmations, scheduled for publication in November of 2024. So how are y'all? I'm doing a little bit better. Still suffering from some mild grade depression. Still under a tremendous amount of stress about the book, about like all the steps leading up to what needs to be done for the book, and fun stuff like that. I did get some of the illustrations back from the illustrator, and sneak peek. They are pretty freaking awesome, and I am in love with a couple of these to the point where I would like, if I had to get a tattoo, one of these would be them, or two of them. Like, yeah. So really happy about that. Because of the technical difficulty that the illustrator was having, they lost a lot of the work that they were going to be giving me, and so this is what I have. And I've used Copilot AI, which is Microsoft's AI program, like ChatGPT. They just call theirs Copilot, to make up a bunch of other random images and stuff like that. So I'm going to be peppering those through the entirety of the book and marking them accordingly. So, yeah, it's been an interesting just last week or so. And there's just so much to unpack. But most of it you guys already know about if you've listened to the podcast, if you've listened to the regular videos, and if you've followed me on TikTok or Instagram or wherever, you know what I've been going through. I did go out into the middle of the forest the other day and just meditate, and I sat there and I cried for probably a good 15 minutes where I was just like, this is too much for me to deal with. And if whatever God happens to be out there watching over me right now, could you please just lighten the load a little bit? Like, this is just getting to be too fucking much. And I no sooner get home and the biological mother calls me up, giving me some bullshit excuse as to why she hasn't been able to talk to me lately, that someone or somehow a virus got onto her phone, and that it took T-Mobile 2 days to get it fixed. Or, I'm sorry, 2 hours to get it fixed, or over 2 hours. And I was just like, what the fuck ever. Like, quit letting people use your phone. I don't let people use my phone. I'm like, bullshit, bitch. The last time we called you, they sold you out. So just stop. And then I hear this. Oh man, I have such a runny nose right now. I'm like, I bet it's the first of the month and you're probably getting fucked up, right? She's like, I don't know where everyone gets this bullshit that I use drugs. I don't do drugs. I said, well, the last 6 toxicology reports that came through from the last 6 times that you've been in the hospital say otherwise. So either you're actively doing it, you're around people who are doing it so much that it's absorbing into your system, or the magic booger, sugar booger goblin is like going up your nose and dumping barrels of it when you actually do sleep. And then that just sent me into a whole new spiral. Like, I'm so done. Like, could you please just not call me as you're doing your fucking drugs? Could you please not call me until the drips are done? Could you please not call me until, like, you've been, you know, at least an hour without a straw up your nose or a glass dick in your mouth? And for those of you who know the jargon and the lingo of the drug universe and tweakers, you know everything what I just said. For those of you who don't, glass dick is just kind of what it sounds like. It's a pipe that you smoke your meth through. Usually it's long, has a bubble at the end with a hole on the top. You push all your stuff down in the center, you light it up, it bubbles up, and you inhale that, and it turns the whole glass like a old mustard yellow brown color. Sometimes there's a little bit of white around the mouth hole. That's called frosted flakes in some circles, or the frosties. Um, like, yeah, shit that I shouldn't even know the terminologies for, but well, here I am. So, and then the drips is once you've inhaled a line of meth, it drips into the back of your throat and goes into your digestive system. So you get high in 2 different ways. It goes directly into the capillaries that like affect the brain and gets into your bloodstream through your mucus glands. And then as it drips into the back of your throat and you're constantly swallowing, you're putting it into your stomach, and that disperses it into the entirety of your body. One pseudo life-saving tip that you can use is that if you come across somebody who is just completely strung out, make them drink milk. It doesn't matter if it's chocolate milk or if it's just regular milk. Whole milk works the best, but have them drink milk. For whatever reason, the milk will counteract the methamphetamines and will cut their high short. Again, just shit I learned as a kid being around a bunch of tweakers and watching their cycle of use. And like, I could always tell whenever one of them was trying to clean up really quickly because they would just drink gallons of chocolate milk. And I thought it was just one of these people's quirks, but then I found out later that it's because it helps to replenish vitamins and calcium in the body, and all kinds of other stuff. So this has become more of a drug lecture than you probably ever wanted or needed. But anyways, so I keep 4 doses of Narcan in my car. I've been trained on how to use them, and I just pray that I don't ever have to use them. There's a part of me that wants to send some Narcan to the biological mom, but at the same time, I don't want to waste it, you know? And a friend of mine, we were talking last night about like the changes going on in our lives and how this has happened and how that's happened and blah, blah. And, um, you know, it got me in my feelings where I was really kind of pissed off. And I was like, you know, it's shitty to say, but my dad, who was a unwilling drug user, and the reason I say unwilling is because he went to a party when he was 15. They thought it would be funny to slip some dope into his soda, and he got all fucked up and overdosed. And for 3 or 4 days, they put him into a closet, and he didn't receive any medical help or treatment. And at that point, you know, detoxing and having you know, methamphetamines introduced into your body for the first time caused him to just chase the bag. And then he started using all kinds of shit. He started using heroin. He started using meth. He started using like Quaaludes and whatever else he could get a hold of that got him high. But when I was 13, he cleaned up. He started going to NA. And I remember he had all the little keychains on the key hook thing. And I didn't really understand what it meant at the time because I had never heard of NA. I just thought, okay, whatever, you get these cool little chips. So yeah, he had the chips or whatever. But he completely cold turkey from heroin and meth and everything else. About the only other thing that he did was smoke pot. And, you know, as a kid, you hear, oh, don't smoke pot, don't smoke pot, don't smoke pot. It's a bad thing. It's a drug. It's a drug. It's a drug. It's a drug. And so hearing that he was still smoking marijuana, I was just like, yeah, that's bad that you're still doing drugs, Dad. Now as a kid, as an adult, I know that marijuana is like eating cookies versus like freebasing heroin. Like on the scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, marijuana is a 0.5 on that scale because it's not as bad. Now, I've had my own problems with marijuana, and I've talked about that also. And October 1st was my 4-year anniversary of being clean and sober from, well, it's my 4-year anniversary of not smoking marijuana. I cannot say that I am completely clean and sober from it because I do use CBD gummies, but you know, a pack of gummies lasts me almost an entire year, and there's only 10 in there. And back when I was getting high like all the time, those gummies probably would have only lasted me 2-3 days. So however you want to split the hairs, I celebrated 4 years of not smoking marijuana and consuming actual like copious amounts of THC. The gummies that I have, they do have some THC in it. I think it's like 100 milligrams per package, so 10 milligrams per piece. Yeah. So there's 10 pieces of candies in here, and It's got 10 milligrams of THC per. This is the one that I have right now. The watermelon, not my favorite, so that's what's going to also help me not utilize it as much. But so there's 100 milligrams of THC per package and 2 milligrams of CBD per piece. And I always half it or quarter it and just take a little bit of it. So I'm probably only getting like maybe 0.5 milligrams of 0.5 milligrams or less of the CBD and probably 1 milligram of THC. So whatever. Yeah. So moving on from there, I watched A Quiet Place Day 1 last night, and I really liked those movies. I don't understand like the whole premise as to like the backstory of where they come from, why they came to Earth. Does that franchise tie into the Aliens franchise? That would be interesting to see if because they already tied in Prometheus and Predator into the Aliens universe. And so, like, are these aliens part of the Prometheus world? Are they part of the Predator world? Are they part of the Xenomorph world? But yeah, just a really good show. And if you have Paramount Plus, it's on there streaming right now for free. Uh, I also finished season 2 of The Rings of Power, another really amazing TV show. Highly, highly recommend if you haven't watched it yet. And that's just been about it. Just in between my bouts of depression, trying to work on the book a little bit more, trying to do just a few things here and there, and just trying to keep myself busy and occupied and not laying in bed all day. Was supposed to go cold plunging on Friday, and my friend called me up. She said, it's raining and it's looking a little chickenish outside. I'm like, okay, that's fair. And she's like, yeah. She's like, but if you want to go, I will go and I will meet you there, blah, blah, blah. Just, bring a big rimmed hat or something like that. I said, no, cold water plus cold rain is just a little too advanced for me. I'm like, when's the next time that you want to go out? She said Monday. I'm like, okay, cool. I said, well, let's hope for good weather on Monday, at least for the time period that we want to get into the water. As we are moving into the winter months now here in the Pacific Northwest, it is getting colder and colder and colder. The last couple of days have just been dark and overcast, and the current temperature right now is 52 and the real feel is 45. So yeah, and it's almost 11 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it's a little chilly outside. But anywho, I think I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go because I feel like I'm starting to ramble and I'm starting to run out of things to say also. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comment section down below. Also, if you've made it this far, I have been uploading some AI generated music. Most of the songs are lyrics that I have created myself and had AI sing the vocals and like do what AI does and put like the soundtrack and everything else behind it. So if you would do me the kindest of favors and listen to those and just give me kind of a little feedback as to what you think, it would be greatly appreciated. So yeah. Anyways, I will talk to y'all later, guys. Bye.